berries, you need to go back. You can go to the Sacred Treasure House and you can see all the lives right there. And it's been wonderful. I hope that I can inspire you with something simple. I'm not a fancy cook. I just like to dabble a little bit. In fact, my husband loves to cook more than I do. But I do cook some. But anyway, so I'm going to make two things, hopefully. Hopefully. Two things. But one of the things that I'm going to cook... Hi, Tracy. Let me say hi, make sure. Hi, Vintage Designs and Dash of Stash. A Dash of Sass. Sorry, I said that wrong. Thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you. Thank you all for welcoming each other. I appreciate that very much. Hi, Patty. So I'm going to start out with, going to use strawberries and I'm using some blackberries. So the blackberries, I've washed them and put the little tiny bit of water in them because they produce a lot of juice on their own, and about a half a cup of sugar in this pan. And I'm going to turn this pan on my stove and let those cook a little bit. While those are cooking, I've got some strawberries. This is for one dessert and this is for another, okay? So I'm not combining those two together, just so you understand what I'm doing. Hi, Mary. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. Hi, Glinda. It's good to see you. So I am I've washed these strawberries, and let me tell you, I want to tell you about what I do. I know a lot of people do things differently, but a few years ago, I found a lady, and I wish I could think of her page name. She's on YouTube and Facebook and everything, and she taught how to preserve strawberries where they would last a long time. Because I have a hard time, which she does lots of fruits and vegetables this way, and I have a hard time with fruits and vegetables, keeping them good. And I hate waste. I hate buying something and spending the money on something and then ended up throwing it in the garbage can in a day or two. It just drives me crazy. So I started doing her way of doing strawberries, and I want to show you what I do. I've been doing for a while now, and I do this with grapes. I do this with oranges, lots of fruit. But this is strawberries. I keep them in a glass jar in my refrigerator. These strawberries right here have been in here for almost a week. And they are perfectly good. See how pretty they still are? The only thing that you really got to watch is your jar might build up a little condensation. But before you put them in a jar, you got to wash them. And how I wash my fruit, my strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, even oranges, I take in the skin, and I do this, and I put it in a soak for 3 minutes with vinegar and water. That's all I use. Vinegar does not break down the fruit and make it soft and mushy. Some things that people add to their water will break down the fruit and it'll make it mushy. Vinegar won't, and it'll stay beautiful like this. After I wash it, I rinse it with water. Don't leave the vinegar on there. I had to learn that the hard way. Rinse it after you soak it, and then lay it out on paper towels or linen towels, whatever you want to do, and let them dry. If you see right back here, I don't know if you could see, I have my strawberries laid out. I bought a second batch. I ran to the store a little bit ago to get a couple things, and I bought some more because I wasn't sure I had enough in my jar. So I bought some more strawberries. So these are the strawberries I just bought at the store, and they're not the greatest, but they're okay. So I'm going to start cutting and cleaning them a little bit. Hi, Tanya. Hello, hello. Hi, Lisa. And this event is put on by Sacred. So Tanya from Timeless Treasures by Tanya and Lisa from Lisa's Craft House. It's the Sacred Treasure House event. And if you're not following their group, you should be, because they have wonderful events, and you will love what they do. We just did a cow theme event on Tuesday, and I had so much fun with it. So y'all, I'm not really worried about how I'm gonna, I'm just cutting the tops off, and then you can quarter them, slice them, it doesn't really matter. I'm just cutting up some strawberries. These have been cleaned, and I use vinegar in my water. And you do need to only do it 3 minutes, because if you do it longer than that, it'll start breaking down your fruit. And you want it to stay firm. You don't want mushy. So just my tips, and it's mostly just what I learned from that one lady that I wish I could think of her page name. Cross Legacy, that's her page. You saw the tip for strawberries? I know, they're too expensive to let ruin. Way too expensive. Let me get me a little bowl to put my, oh, this is gonna be my throwaway bowl. For all the stuff I don't want, throw in that bowl. Yes, they're, fruits and any grocery items nowadays. I'm always looking for a way to conserve and save and keep from wasting it. My husband has grown a garden, and this year our garden's done fairly well. He's been very excited about it, and we've been working on the soil, trying to get our soil better, because we feel like that's what our problem has been. But we want to preserve those fruits and vegetables that come out of the garden. And we have strawberries planted in our garden, but it's their first season and they're not doing the greatest. But usually it takes a year or two to establish a good strawberry field. So next year we're hoping we'll get more strawberries. So I'm just chopping these up. I got blackberries. If you're late joining, I got some blackberries and some sugar boiling on the stove. We're going to use in our other recipe. What we're going to make with the blackberries is a blackberry cobbler. And it's a really easy cobbler recipe. You may use it. You may have heard about it. It's really, really, really easy. So anybody can do this. And it's a good thing to know how to do when you need a dessert like the last minute and you're like, oh, I don't have anything. Because this cobbler doesn't take a whole lot of ingredients. Got a little piece of grain right there. Hi, Kathy. Kathy's up after me at Quality Crafts by Kathy. Her and Dawn are going to go live, so I hope that you will go to their page after me and support them. It's been a hard week, but I'm thankful that Kathy's going to be with us. We miss her when she's not. Somebody's driving down my road with their stereo booming. We don't get a lot of that in the country, but every now and then we do. Hi, Charlotte. I see. Hi, I already said hi. My uncle always had tons of blueberries when he was alive. My mom loved to eat them plain. I love blueberries just plain too. And I was torn on which berry I wanted to use, because I had some strawberries in the fridge, I had some blueberries in the fridge, and I had blackberries. So I was like, oh, I don't know which one I want to use. So I decided I would do a strawberry dessert as well as a blackberry dessert. So I feel like that's probably a good cup of berries. I might do just a little bit more because I like a lot in this dessert. Those need a couple more minutes to cook before I make the other. And I don't want to get in too big of a hurry So we've had a lot of trivia today. I don't have any trivia. I'm not good at trivia. I'm not good at coming up with the questions, and I'm not good at answering them. But have y'all learned anything really neat about berries today? Can you tell me something you learned today about berries that you didn't know? I've learned a couple things, although I don't really care for the idea of one thing, and I'll tell you in a minute. Love blackberries. I love them too. And these blackberries, I should have showed you. I'll show you the package. These blackberries, we were gifted a whole bunch of these blackberries. And some of them we took out of the package, we cleaned them, and then we froze them in vacuum seal bags. But a few we didn't. And my husband was sure that the ones that we just sat in the freezer in these containers, that they would taste freezer burnt, but they don't. But I always cook them, and so you don't taste it at all, thankfully. Because there are little holes in the package, and he was worried that they would taste freezer burnt. But anyway, they don't. But blackberries, a lot of blackberries, the seeds get on my nerves. But these have bigger seeds, so it's easier to pull a seed out if you've come across one. And so it's not quite as annoying as the little tiny seeds. Oops, the little tiny seeds that sometimes are in blackberries. Those are good. Which my husband, he picks blackberries some, but this summer that time just got away from him and he didn't go pick where he normally picks. How much vinegar do you use in your water? I have like this little tub, and I'll show you. I usually use this little tub, and I love this little thing because it folds up. That came off of Temu, if anybody's interested. I fold it out, and I fill it not all the way to the brim, but just a couple levels, about like this, about to here, with water. And I put usually about 1/3 of a cup or a little more vinegar for this. Okay? Hopefully that helps you. Don't need a whole lot. You just need enough to get in there and clean the berries. For Hannah's reveal that we had last weekend, I cleaned strawberries, blueberries, and the oranges, and I just put the oranges down in there, the same thing, let them soak. It gets all that extra stuff off the outside where they may have sprayed pesticides or whatever, and it makes them last longer. And what I like to do with oranges is a tip for you. If you like cold oranges, I love cold orange slices. So I take and I slice up my oranges into little half moon shapes, and I put them in a jar, and they will last for a week or two, probably, like that. These strawberries will last a month if you wipe the condensation out every now and then out of your jar. Strawberries will last a month like this, but if you don't wipe the condensation, they won't, because they will still get bad. Yes. So my blueberries are really cooking. I'm going to turn them off. Not blueberries, blackberries. Blackberries is what's in that pot. Got my strawberries. And if I decide to cut a few more later, y'all just overlook it, okay? Because I like a lot of strawberries. Okay, so I'm going to throw this in the trash. I've dumped out my stuff out of the bowl, and I'm going to go put these strawberries in the bowl. And y'all, I've washed my hands several times. So just know, this food's going in my mouth, my husband's mouth, probably Hannah's mouth, Jason's mouth, and my hands are clean. Okay, so see, cut up strawberries. Okay, so I'm gonna set those back here out of the way. I'm gonna rinse my hands off. So while my blackberries are sitting there in their little juicy goodness, I've got a bowl. I'm going to move this cutting board out of my way. I have a bowl. And I'm going to use... See, y'all, I got to slow down. I got to slow down. Thanks for the tip. I buy berries and swear the next day. Yes, you got to do it. Try it. You'll love it. What's in the stove? This is blackberries. Blackberries, a little bit of water. I mean, probably like less than 1/3 of a cup of water. And 1/2 cup of sugar. And I'll show you. See, there's a lot of juice. But you need just a little bit of water or they might kind of scorch. And you don't want scorching. You don't want your sugar to scorch. So that's why I always add water. But they make a lot of juice. See that? A lot of juice. So just so you know. My pans are old, so y'all overlook those old pans. But so this is flour, and it's self-rising flour. And I'm going to use 1 cup. 1 cup of self-rising flour. Doesn't have to be perfect measurements where you tap it down and all that jazz. This is easy. Easy. Okay? The next thing I'm going to put is 1 cup of sugar. If you've ever heard of this, they call it a cup. Cobbler. Some people do. But I add a little bit extra something, so don't. You may have seen it. So 1 cup of sugar. You could make this with diabetic sugar too. If you wanted to, you could make it with diabetic sugar. I don't have any diabetic sugar. I'm out. But I usually don't make it with diabetic sugar because most of the people in my family are not diabetic and you just don't eat very much. I usually eat just a little tiny bit. And I use my sugar-free ice cream to make it more of a dessert for me. So I need 1 cup of milk. So it's 1 cup flour, 1 cup sugar, and 1 cup of whole milk. You could probably get away with 2% milk, but we keep whole milk. Well, if I buy milk, I keep it. Now, I don't keep milk as much because Hannah's not here. Hannah's my milk drinking kid. So I don't, and it ruins. Terry and I don't drink a lot of milk. So sometimes we only buy 1/2 gallon, but today I bought 1 gallon because I knew Hannah was wanting some milk to drink at my house. I'm the only diabetic in my family. The only one. Now, we have dear friends that are like family, and him and his wife play the role of grandparents to my children because both Terry and I's parents have passed away. And he is a type 1 diabetic. I'm a type 2. And he has a pump and insulin and all the things. I do not. I just take a medication. I take 2 kinds of medication. Only because the one just wasn't, even though I was limiting my everything, it wasn't doing it. So I've been put on another medicine. It seems to be helping a lot. So, but anyway, he's type 1. So when we get together, I used to try to really make things just for him and I, but he doesn't. He pretty much eats what he wants because he can control it with insulin. I can't. My husband eats a bowl of bran flakes every night before bed. So we keep milk, but we don't drink much. Yeah. I used to be on metformin for years. Yeah. I've been on metformin for about 4 years, probably. And it just, which I refuse to take it twice a day. Just a personal preference. So I only take 1 pill a day. And it's not enough. So they put me on a different medicine. And right now I can't even tell you what it is. But it's working. It's working. It works differently in your body. And so things are getting better. So y'all, I don't generally measure, but one thing I like to add, now this is just a quick mix. You don't have to get out your mixer and nothing. Just mix it up by hand. Try to get that flour a little bit mixed. I might not have it mixed good enough, but it's going to be okay. I promise. So, see how it's not perfectly in there. Okay? This is, and I promise you, you will be amazed. This is a quick and easy cobbler for you to have if you have unexpected company. 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of milk, and I'm going to put this is a tablespoon, half a tablespoon. That's a teaspoon and a half of vanilla. You could add some other flavors. What did I do with my spoon? Did I put it in the sink? No, there it is. So we'll stir that vanilla. You could add other, if you like almond flavor, or you could add that too. It's very liquidy, but it turns out pretty, please. Pretty Pieces by Michelle. Hi, Michelle. I think I said hi to you. Glucose number and teeth have improved since giving up sugar. Yes. I don't eat a whole lot of sugar, and that's why when I do eat stuff that has sugar in it, it tastes so sweet. Very, 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 very sweet. My problem is not sweets, though. My problem comes from potatoes, bread, that kind of stuff. And so that all turns into sugar. So I have to be careful, but when I eat carbs, I try to elevate protein, and that's, I think, helped me more than anything. So if I eat a little bit of pasta, I eat a whole lot more of the meat or the topping that goes on the pasta than I do pasta. So that kind of balances out the proportions. So this is the pan that I'm going to use for my cobbler. It's small. It's just Terry and I. You can make this in a bigger pan, even with the 1 cup. It just won't be as thick. Mine will be a little thicker. And the other reason that I have to use this is my oven is out. My oven completely went out this time. My husband took my stove. He took the part out, and we tried to replace a couple little parts that we had found on video that didn't work. So we decided we needed a whole new control panel, which was cheaper than buying a new stove. I ordered the new control panel, and then after I ordered it, it's on back order, and I got frustrated and canceled the order. So I have no working oven. My stove works, but my oven doesn't work. So I have a convection oven, just a little like toaster type oven. It's a little bigger than your average, and that's what I'm going to use to bake this. So I'm going to spray my pan. I'm going to spray my pan with some cooking spray. I love these pans. This is a Pioneer Woman. They don't stick hardly. I mean, even if I didn't spray that spray, it probably wasn't going to stick. So I'm going to pour my mixture. 1 cup, 1 cup, 1 cup. Little bit of vanilla into my pan. scrape all that goody stuff in there. This is something I told my daughter. I said, I gotta come up with something else because I can make this in 15 minutes. It's gonna bake longer than that, but I can put it together in less than 15 minutes. She said, "Help, Mom, you're gonna have to come up with something else." I said, "Okay, I gotta come up with something else." So I'm going to take these berries, and I'm not going to use every bit of the juice. I'm just going to eyeball it. And I'm going to put my berries down in there. Now, this will take about 30 minutes to cook. Maybe 40. So it might not get totally done before I have to go off. If it doesn't, I will post a finished photo so you can see that it does turn out and it does look beautiful. Now you don't want to put your fruit in there and then stir it all up. You want it to look like cobbler. So I'll show you what it looks like right now. See, you want it to look like cobbler. So the only other thing that I'm going to do to it is I'm going to take a stick of butter and put a few pats of butter on top. Now this is real butter, and I'm not going to drill you. You do you, and I'll do me. I believe in real butter. I used to be a margarine person. I used to use it. And I understand that using real butter costs more, and some people can't afford real butter. But I've since came away and said, you know, my health and my family's health is worth more than the cost of real butter. So I do buy real butter. I do go to Aldi's. It's cheaper. I'm just putting a few. No certain amount, just some pats of butter. Need to do I have? That's different from a convection oven. My little oven is it's really what people would say is I don't want to show you my mess. It's not real bad, but it's a little bit. But this is a Faberware one, and we used to use it just when we wanted to cook something and we didn't want to heat up the kitchen. We use it like in Sunday mornings, but it has convection, toast, broil, bake, but it's just a small countertop oven, basically. But I can cook. I cooked Hannah's birthday cake. It just takes longer because you can only do small things at one time. So you got to do one pan at a time if you're doing a layered cake. And that gets annoying. I'm ready to have my oven back. But I'm thankful that I have that, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to bake anything. My husband uses it a lot on Sunday mornings. He likes to have a biscuit. And so we buy those frozen individual biscuits so he can have a biscuit on Saturdays and Sunday mornings. And we use it a lot for that. We use it a lot to toast bread or whatever. It gets used quite a bit, especially right now being that my oven's on the bricks. Yeah, it doesn't heat up your house near as much. My door, it's getting old. I've had it 7 years. And my door sometimes doesn't want to close all the way, so I have a really heavy magnet to hold the door shut. Because it will trigger my air conditioning unit to run more, because my air conditioning unit receiving, where it receives the air, is real close to my kitchen, so we magnetize the door so it don't put out as much heat. My new one can hold 2 12-inch pizzas. Wow. Now this one, if I do a pizza, I have to cut it in half. You have to. I don't cook pizza hardly at all now that my kids are out of the house. Okay, so my next thing is, and Kim has one of these now. I'm going to use my mixer. And my mixer is several years old too, so y'all bear with me. And we're going to make some ice cream. Okay? So I have the attachment for to make ice cream with my KitchenAid mixer. And y'all, I used to keep it in the freezer all the time. Because that's the best way that if you want to make some last minute dessert or ice cream or whatever, it's ready to go. Well, when I went to go look for it, I couldn't find it. And we have 2 upright freezers. And we have the freezer on our refrigerator. Couldn't find it. So I was like, what in the world and why is it not in my freezer? And I remembered. I went searching. I have 2 pantries, one for canned goods and things, and one for extra tools. Like we cook a lot, you know, so we have different pans and things, and we keep extra stuff in that closet. So I went looking, couldn't find it. So Hannah went and asked her daddy. He said, I don't know. He was on the phone. And so I went back in my pantry where my canned goods was, and there it was on the top shelf. I guess we had needed the space because we was without a freezer for a short time. One of my freezers went out. We had to replace it. And so I guess to reduce space, we had took it out to store it temporarily. So it's not been in the freezer as long as I would like it to be. So this may or may not freeze as well right in front of your face. But it will freeze. And it's really, really good and yummy. You have the art. Yes. We love our mixer. We love it. It is amazing. And like I said, we've had it several years now. But this is what it looks like, y'all. And it's been well used. It's got some scrapes on the inside. I may have to have my husband's help. I don't know if he knows that. Because he always usually does the ice cream instead of me. So you set it on just like you do. And you lock it in place. And I'm hoping this is the only 2 attachments. I think it is. Terry, you may have to help me with this. I can't remember how it works. Terry Lane.
Huh?
You may have to help me with this. How does this work? I hope I have all the pieces. Kim, do you remember how this works?
Yeah.
Okay, show me, please.
Hold on, I'm gonna wash my hand.
I think. No?
Like that.
Yeah.
Turn around. No, the whole thing goes like this.
Go wash your hands.
Hold on.
He's got to help me, y'all. I never do this part. He always does it. Like that. I think I figured it out, baby. I think I figured it out. Is that right?
Oh.
No? Sure?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Well, I tried it the other way. It didn't work. And this
And you get it
is
started.
right there.
And then you pour your liquid in there.
Yeah. So this is how it is. So I got to get some stuff out because I don't have my stuff out.
Y'all, she don't do desserts very often.
No, Terry's the dessert
I'm the
maker.
one that does the desserts.
Most of the time. Terry. So let me go. I'll be right back. We haven't made ice cream in so long. I said, Terry, what goes in it? And he's telling me, he was giving me the super sugary version. That I said, no, we're not making that version because I want to have some. Using sweetened condensed milk and all this. I'm like, no. We're not making that version because I want to have some. So I went online, I pulled up a recipe, and I'm going to use it. It calls for 1.5 cups of heavy cream. I'm just going to pour that in. It don't have an egg, but I'm going to add an egg. We always add an egg to ours.
You better whisk your egg up.
I will. 1.5 cups of heavy cream, and then it calls for 1.5 cups of whole milk. Turn my thing around. And this is something too, you could make diabetic. You could make it diabetic friendly by using a diabetic sugar. But I will tell you this, if you use diabetic sugar in ice cream, it tends to get icy in the, it gets more icy, I think. So it's best to just, if you're diabetic and you want to eat a little, just eat a little. Try not to eat a big old heap and bowl full, but have just a little and call it good. Okay? Just a tip. I'm gonna put this recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of vanilla. See if I can find them. Yeah, what is this? 2 teaspoons. Yeah. We'll use a Pampered Chef measure. That's 2 teaspoons of vanilla. It calls for 2/3 of a cup of sugar. This measuring cup has the measurements for all the things on it. It's made out of metal. So that's 2/3 cup. I probably should stir up my stuff. I probably should have mixed it. Oh well, we'll mix it in the mixer. It'll be okay. And it calls for 1/8 of a teaspoon of sea salt. I don't know if I have 1/8 of a teaspoon, maybe. Yeah, I do. Okay, and I'm going to whisk up an egg, okay? So, just a second, let me get an egg. You have a soft serve ice cream maker. I know, I've looked at those. Y'all knock that right off. Yeah. I've looked at those before and thought that would be cool to have sitting right there if you want to make just a small amount and you can make really small amounts with those. I'm just going to use a fork and kind of whisk up the egg. And some people don't like to put an egg in their ice cream, and that's okay. If you feel like it's not safe, don't do it. But it's not ever hurt us. I mean, honestly, a lot of people eat a raw egg every day. And it doesn't kill them. I don't know we tried it with an egg and without an egg. And we just like the taste of it better with the egg. So that's why we always add egg. But again, everybody has their own tastes and their own things. And well, get my thoughts together here. I got a little bit of sugar on my thing. I want to make sure all all that gets down in there. Okay, like I said, I don't know that my bowl was frozen well enough, but we're gonna try it. So then you turn it on, and the coldness from the bowl will make it start to turn into ice cream on the sides. But like I said, my bowl may not be frozen enough because it's only been in the freezer for about an hour and a half. So it may not. Thank you, Deborah Campbell. I'm doing good. It makes it more like egg custard type ice cream. Yeah. Yeah, it does. You've never made it with an egg, Leslie. There's a lot of recipes that call for it, and there's some that don't. This recipe I'm using actually doesn't say to use it, but we like it with it in it. And I don't know that this will do it because my bowl may not be frozen enough. I may have to pour it out and freeze my bowl more and then redo it. I don't know. I hate that it's so noisy. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to add strawberries into our ice cream. You make Philadelphia style, no egg. Okay. Everybody's got their own thing. Like I said, I don't know that it will do well enough to show you because my bowl. How long do you freeze your bowl for, Kim? Do you keep it in the freezer all the time? Don't know. That's right. Ice cream. Whoa. So how often do you make ice cream? I don't make it that often. When we first got this, we made a lot of ice cream. But we've had it a few years now, and we don't really make ice cream a whole lot. But you can take it after it mixes well and it starts setting up. You could pour it in a bucket and put it in the freezer and freeze it the rest of the way. You leave it in the freezer. That's what we used to do. I wish I had realized mine wasn't in the freezer. I don't know that it's gonna. Woo! Too fast. I'm trying to rush it anyway. I'm trying to rush it. Don't rush it. This is our supper that I haven't got to finish everything. I have potatoes cooked right here to go with it. And I told Terry, I said, you're going to have to wait for me to finish supper after the live. I'm going to stop it and move it over here. I don't think that my bowl is frozen enough. Honestly, I don't. Which upsets me, but nothing I could do about it. I'll try to make sure I don't dump it. My thing don't stay locked anymore. It used to. to do that for right now. Boy, I made a big mess. I made a big mess. Trying to get in a hurry. Isn't that what always gets us in trouble when we try to get in a hurry? Up after me is Quality Crafts by Kathy and her husband Dawn. Your kitchen was about 8 years old, and Tyler bought me a new one because he thought mine was old. They last a long time. And I think the older model ones are built even better than the newer model ones. So I know people that have them that are 25, 30 years old, and they work just as good as the new ones. Hi, Brittany. I've never tried to make yogurt, like frozen yogurt. I've never tried it before. I need to. I've been wanting to make my own yogurt. Has anyone ever done that? You can usually make it with like an Instant Pot, or some people even do it in a crock pot. But I've not ever done it, and I've always wanted to kind of try it. My pot is not an Instant Pot brand, and it's a different brand, so it doesn't have the setting for yogurt. But a lot of the Instant Pots have a setting to make your own yogurt. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to freeze, y'all. What I'm probably going to do is pour that into a bowl and wash my ice cream maker, put it in the freezer and let it stay overnight, and then make this into ice cream tomorrow. Your freezer bowl needs to be really hard frozen, and I don't think that mine had long enough to do it. But it will become a creamy, really creamy ice cream, and it will taste so good when it's done. So let me check on our cobbler. Get a pot holder. Ooh. It's not done yet. No, it's not. It looks like it's gonna need probably another 20 minutes. So I'm sorry, y'all. I can't show you a finished product. But I am so excited that you have been here. So I want to talk to you a little bit about berries. Has anyone ever heard of a elderberry? Elderberry. Have you ever heard of elderberries? Does anyone pick wild berries to use in their house? Yes, I see here elderberries. Have you ever picked them? I know that, a lot of people, you have a bush. Yay! A lot of people are scared of certain berries. But elderberries are very safe. You need to know what you're looking for. My husband and you also mulberries. You can buy them online, yeah. But elderberries grow wild. And my husband, I had never really knew anything about elderberries until I married Terry. I didn't know what possum grapes was either. And muscadine. I didn't know what a muscadine was. But there are lots of things you left to miss. It's not doing well, Kathy, because my bowl's not frozen good enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it in a bowl and freeze my bowl overnight and then run it again tomorrow. Because my bowl's not frozen good enough. So, sadly, I can't show you ice cream. I'm so sorry. Yes, very good. Very good for immune system. A lot of people take elderberries and they cook them and they turn them into a syrup. And they take a teaspoon or a tablespoon of syrup every day to build up their immune system. My husband likes, when we get them, he always makes jelly out of them. But we've been talking about making our own elderberry syrup so that to use to help us to not get sick in the winter. But we haven't decided totally. Yes, very good for colds and help keep you from getting sick. Elderberries are. But there's a lot of different things out there. When I talk about stuff like this, I almost sound like, if you all know Carol Roots, she loves foraging and things like that. So some things you can grow yourself. You can plant you some strawberries. Get you a blueberry bush. We have never tried a blueberry bush. I'm not sure if our climate would work well with blueberry bush, but there's a lot of things that you can do yourself and take away some of the expense of being able to use fresh fruits and vegetables in your own home. And you have that growing on your property. Yes, that's cool. We have some in our area. I don't think we have any on our property, but I wonder if we could transplant some to our property. I don't know how that would work. Elderberry syrup, yes. So, there's a lot of cool things. But I was going to tell you, if you missed the trivia today, I did not know that blackberries are not considered berries. I don't agree with that. I'm sorry. I think they're wrong. But anyway, and then they said that bananas are considered a berry. What? That's crazy. I don't agree with that. A banana can't be a berry. That's like crazy. Do any of you agree with me? I want you to see my cobbler. I might take it out and let you see it like it is right now. It's not done yet, but I want you to see. I want you to see. It still needs a little longer to cook. Do you see that? How pretty it's going to be. It'll be golden brown on top when it gets completely finished. That and some vanilla ice cream is a really good dessert. We have some vanilla for my husband and for me. I buy that Breyers no sugar added ice cream. And so that's probably what dessert will be tonight. Banana is a fruit, but it's also considered, they said, the people who were doing trivia said that banana is a berry. A berry. Not just fruit, but a berry. I don't agree. Yes, make one, Donna. A cup of flour, a cup of sugar, a cup of milk. I added 1 teaspoon or so, probably 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla, and some pats of butter on top. That simple. And your fruit. I take blackberries. You don't have to pre-cook the blackberries, but I like to cook them a little bit and get the juices. And I put them in a pan, and I put a little tiny bit of water, probably less than 1/3 cup of water, to a pint of blackberries, and 1/2 cup of sugar. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? You want a bite with them? I know. You need to come and see me. I'll make you some. It's like tomato is not a veggie. I know. That's crazy too. Whoever's categorizing things needs our help, don't they? I know there's a science and all these things, but I think that we need to help them because they don't understand. One and done. Welcome, welcome. It has seeds. It's a berry. Is that what you think? They said blackberries are not a berry. That's what they said earlier. There was several berries that we call berries that they said was not berries. I was like, huh? What? I refuse it. You're trying to work it out? Oh! You need to call me because we want to help if we can. Help you work it out. So y'all, up after me is Quality Crafts by Kathy. She will be live here in just a couple minutes. And Dawn, her husband, is going to be cooking with her. I have no idea. She said she has 2 desserts. I have no idea what she's making. I hope that it all turns out better than mine. Well, the ice cream part. And I hope that you will watch her. Here at Crafty Blessings, I try to end every live with a challenge for you. What can you do to be a blessing? You know, being a blessing is a simple thing. It could be making a 1 cup cobbler and taking it to your neighbor. It could be picking up the garbage out of an elder person's yard where somebody dropped it. It could be smiling at the cashier at the grocery store, even when you're frustrated. It could be saying, have a great day to the bank teller. Mowing your elderly neighbor's yard. It could be a lot of things, you know, so it's important that we remember that this world needs more kindness. It needs more caring, and that we can all be a blessing to each other. On these lives, you're a blessing to me just to see you popping up on my live and telling your friends that we're live. That's being a blessing to us. And if we could all decide to try to do more of that, we'd live in a better place. So I hope you have a blessed night. Go and see Quality Crafts by Kathy and Dawn, her husband, and see what wonderful thing that they're making tonight. And don't forget to join Sacred Treasure House if you haven't already. God bless y'all. Have a great night. Bye-bye.